Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be something a little bit different on my channel, and it's basically going to be me opening up and telling you my coming out story. It is Pride Month, so happy Pride, and I thought what better way to kind of kickstart the month with a story so that we can get to know each other a little bit better. Yeah, I'm really nervous. I'm really nervous to do this. I don't know why. I feel like it's a very personal journey. It's not been an easy journey for me, and I honestly don't know why I didn't do this sooner, and I have been putting off doing this video for such a long time, and when I think about it, I can't even tell you the reason why. It's just, I don't know, I don't know, I just feel like there's so much in the past that it's kind of hard to bring it all back up. Now, the reason why I really want to do this video is to basically spread light and positivity and to celebrate how far the LGBTQ plus community have come. I think it's absolutely amazing, and I'm so lucky to be able to, you know, share love and be the person that I truly want to be. So this is a video out there to spread that light, spread that positivity, especially with everything that's going on right now in the world. And even if it just helps one person, that's all I ask for. That's all I ask for. I wish that there was YouTube when I was growing up. I wish that there was a role model or some guidance. So yeah, this is for you guys. This is so scary. So yeah, without wasting any more time, I'm just gonna go straight into the video. Okay, so I'm not gonna script this video at all. I never really do. I'm just kind of like wing it, which is kind of scary. But on my notepad, I have written just like some titles and stuff. So for example, like I want to talk about like family, like self-discovery and school and things like that. So I've just written down like headings, and that's kind of what I'm gonna talk about. Oh, I'm so scared. So I basically want to talk about everything that encapsulates me, my sexuality, and my coming out story, and like me coming out to my family, where I am now, and also some advice as well. So let's just get to it. Okay, so I really don't know, like this is such a weird video for me. Like, I honestly feel like I could talk about makeup and beauty all day long, but when it comes to talking about myself, I just find it a little bit strange sometimes. Yeah, my coming out story. I feel like every single person has their story, and I definitely want to just put my hands up right now and to just say that, you know, my story is just my story, and other people's stories might have been a lot harder or a lot easier. And I think it's really important to just be really open-minded that everyone's own experiences will always affect them and like determine their path in life. And that's just how we are programmed. Do you know what I mean? So I want to kind of talk about, firstly, self-discovery. So self-discovery for me was a really strange thing, because growing up, I never knew that like being gay existed. I never knew of same-sex couples. I never knew of same-sex relationships. I actually didn't know gay was a thing. So it was really strange. I feel like probably one of the hardest things for me was the self-discovery, because I wasn't aware of it before. And I'm not sure if you guys can understand, but I hope you can. Like, imagine growing up and just feeling kind of weird, and you don't know why you feel like this, and just feeling like, why am I not the same as everyone else? Like, I just didn't understand. And a lot of it was, I mean, it was kind of really deep, right? Wow, this is getting deep. A lot of it was really hard, in the sense that I felt like there was something wrong with me, that perhaps I had a disease, or that I was, you know, I needed to be cured. And it really was just a weird time for me. I didn't fancy boys at the time, and I didn't fancy girls. I did have some girlfriends, like in school and stuff, but I definitely felt like it was a strange time. I just wasn't thinking about like sex or like getting into a relationship or anything like that. I was just kind of like, meh, I'm at school, I'm young, I don't know, like I just wasn't thinking about it. And it was only when I started becoming a teenager, and when our bodies start changing, and when you see everyone else around you changing, and like boys are talking about girls and girls are talking about boys, then you kind of think to yourself, oh, is this what I'm meant to be doing? Because I kind of don't feel that way. Like I actually didn't feel any way, but oh. And it was just a very weird time. My self-discovery was just hard, and I honestly didn't accept what I was or who I was as a person. And I think that no matter how many external like people would either bully me or give me abuse because they thought I was gay, I didn't see myself as gay. I just didn't think that. I was like, what? And I had like internalized homophobia where I just would hate myself for being gay. Oh my god, this is so much now. I feel like I'm gonna cry. Why? I'm not gonna cry in this video. Okay, wow, this is going. This is a raw video. Woo, girl. So, yeah, I guess it was really not the external factors that affected me. It was more the internal factors, and I just didn't understand. The next point is school, and I feel like it's really important that your self-discovery for me happened around when I was like an adolescent, when I was a teenager, and school had a really, really big part to play in. We're going to talk about religion in a little bit, but I went to a Roman Catholic school, and there was pretty much, I mean, now I can think there was probably I want to say like 3 other gay people at my school, but I wasn't aware of that at the time. I don't know if they were aware of that at the time. And yeah, we never really spoke to, like, it was just wasn't cool, do you know what I mean? And there's always this like London slang thing where if anything you didn't like, you'd just be like, oh, that's gay. But it wasn't like, oh, that's actually gay. It's just like, I don't like that. Like, it would just be like an insult word. So everyone in my school used to say that, like, oh my god, like, what is that? What's on the lunch menu? Ew, that's gay. Like, it was just like an insult word. So naturally, already growing up, I knew that gay equals negative, and there was so much negativity around that word. So obviously you don't want to be like, oh, I might be gay, do you know what I mean? Because it's just negative. And I think school was really, really hard for me. I was really, really academic, and I would just get on with my studies. I'm proud to say that I am a hardworking person, and I always want to reach my goals, and I was super academic. I came out of school with 10 GCSEs from A to C. Your boy's Brady. I also did 4 A-levels instead of 3, and I had qualifications to go to university, but I just decided that I wanted to go into apprenticeship and do hairdressing. So like growing up, definitely when I was, you know, in primary school, it wasn't an issue. It was more secondary school. It was really, really hard, and it was really scary. And I sometimes thought that maybe I could be a victim because of my sexuality. And I knew that people wouldn't want to hang around with me because, you know, I could have had that because of my sexuality, basically. I knew that. I just knew that. It just wasn't cool to be seen with someone who's different, I guess. So I naturally kind of hung around more with girls. I just always got on better with girls. Like, it just was the way it was for me, and girls were a lot more accepting. And I guess, you know, I mean, you probably, I'm sat here, I'm wearing makeup, do you know what I mean? I'm quite a feminine guy, but take all this away, I'm just a guy. And yeah, it was just a funny time. I did have some amazing friends at school, I will say that, and some of them were truly, truly supportive. And one of my friends, like, I will never forget you. Oh my god, I'm gonna cry again. Okay, I'm back. Wow, I'm in literally the best mood ever. Like, I've just been filming videos, and I'm so happy, and I'm so excited. So I'm sorry that I'm getting emotional. It's not that I'm sad, it's just that I'm bringing up memories. But going back to school, I'm just gonna say her name here. Her name's Chrissy. If you're watching this, babe, hey, how are you? And oh my god, I don't think she realizes how much she means to me. Oh my god, I'm gonna cry. She was the first person I ever came out to, and she really, like, we were kind of like the outsiders. We were the outsiders that all hung out together, and I was a little bit of an emo at school. And we all used to hang out. We all used to love going to a nearby bakery and getting a BLT and a bagel and like something outside, you know what I mean? And this group of friends, I feel like, were genuinely such loving, kind people that opened their arms, and I will never forget them ever. And one person in particular, Chrissy, who I came out to, she was the first person I ever told, like the first person in the world that I felt brave enough to be like, hey, I think I'm gay. And she was just like, yeah, like, we know, babe, it's fine. Like, it was just so crazy at the time. Like, for me, it was the biggest thing. But when I told her, she was like, babe, we know, like, everyone knows. Do you know what I mean? So it's just so funny how you think it's such a big thing, but then when you tell people who are close to you, obviously they kind of know anyway. She was so accepting, she was so loving, and I'll never, ever, ever forget, and I'll always be thankful for someone just being there for me like that. Okay, I'm gonna really try not to cry because I still need to film videos after this. You know, you don't want to ruin a makeup, girl. School for me was just hard. There were elements of it which I really enjoyed. I loved the academic side. I loved the fact that there was a lot of structure and it was cool, but I hated the fact that a lot of the time during playtime I would sit on a log in a corner of the playground by myself, and it was really lonely. It was really, really lonely, and I just didn't understand why people didn't like me, but it's just the way it is. Saying that and looking at that now as a grown man, as an adult, I think it was just part of the journey, and maybe I could have done some more things to be, you know, acceptable or accepted, or I could have maybe even, you know, gone up and attempted to make friends a little bit more as well. So I'm not blaming anyone or anything, and I just want to know that, you know, there's still a lot of bullying in schools. I know so many of my followers are quite young. You guys really open up and tell me about your experiences. And you know what? It's not even about sexuality. Like, this is a coming out story, I know, but like, if you're too tall, you're gonna get bullied. If you're too short, you're gonna get bullied. If you're too skinny, if you're too fat, like, there's always something that someone can pick on. So it's important that no matter what, and a word of advice that I will give you now is never see yourself as the victim. See yourself as someone who can stand up, dust yourself off, and you can continue and live the life that you want to live. Like, you can take control and make the life that you really want to. And the most important thing is that you always spread love and you never spread hate, and that you're a good person. My next point is going to be my coming out to my mum. So I basically went through school, and I think it was when I was, you know, roughly 16 that I started talking to boys, and it was the internet that really, really helped me develop as a person. So as I told you, I didn't know that gay people existed. I didn't have a gay uncle or gay role model. I didn't see it in the media. I didn't understand. I know there were, like, you know, gay singers like Freddie Mercury and stuff, but I didn't know that he was gay. I was just like, he's just mad. Like, I never saw anything like that, right? So it was the moment I knew 110%, and I confirmed myself what I was when I got with a boy. Like, I met a boy and we kissed, and I remember that moment. I felt like I was so young and so naive, and I had like butterflies. And the minute I kissed him, because I had kissed a few girls, you know, at the point, the minute I kissed him, I just knew. I was like, this is it. I think this is what I am. So it just kind of like hit home. Yeah, that kind of confirmed everything. And it was at that moment that I felt like I needed to tell more than just my friends, and I really wanted to tell my family. I've always been really, really, really close to my mum, so I felt like I wanted to tell her first. Me and my mum, like, we used to go to Selfridges pretty much every single Saturday. It was just our little treat. We grew up really, really, like, poor, and it was hard. Like, we just used to window shop, really. Like, sometimes we'd save up a little bit of money and we would treat ourselves, and it would mean something to us, and it would be like, oh my god, this is a nice little treat. But we just loved going there to like look at the beautiful counters and everything, and it was so nice. And it was just a bit of an escape, because like I grew up in like a council estate, and you know, like, even the school and the area that I grew up wasn't like, it was one of the worst boroughs in London at the time. I don't know about now. And the school was one of the best schools, but in the worst boroughs. So doing these little trips with my mum was just amazing. And I felt like, you know, we always used to hang out, and I just thought, okay, I need to tell my mum, and then I just thought, oh my god, like I'm just gonna tell her on one of these weekend trips that we go to Selfridges. So I actually this is gonna sound so crazy, but I actually came out to my mum in Selfridges. We sat down, we were having like coffee and cake, you know, Portuguese people love a bit of coffee and cake, and I was just sat there, and I literally just said to my mum, like, Mum, I've got something to tell you. And she was like, what? And I was just like, I think I'm gay. And then she was just like, oh no, it's just the phase, you'll grow out of it. And I remember me thinking, like, at this point I had already kissed this guy, and I was like, what? You what? It was so hard for me to understand this. It was so hard for me to accept this, because I had told my friends and they accepted me. I had told I kind of told myself, and I was like, it was sinking in, like I had this whole journey. But my mom, she just loved me unconditionally. She saw me as her son. She doesn't see me as you know, gay, straight, or anything like that. She's gonna love me unconditionally. So she was just like, no, and she just didn't see it. And I was like, Mom, it's so obvious. Like, I didn't wear makeup like this at the time, guys, but you know, this was before Instagram days when we did not glow up. But I was just like, no, Mum, it is. And she just kind of took that and she put it away. And that really hurt me. I think that really, really, really hurt me, because she didn't address it and she never came back to it. And with me, then it made me feel like whenever I'm at home or whenever I'm with family, I could never be myself. And it was so hard. I always felt like, right, try and act straight, try and act normal, try and behave normal, don't say anything strange. Like, I was always so controlled. And I think that's why now I am quite, not control freak, but like I have a bit of OCD, like, and I like having control. And I was always controlled, like, what do I do, what do I say, how am I perceived, especially in my family. And it was just a really hard time, and I felt like, you know, I wish my mum would have maybe handled that a little bit different. But she's one of the most amazing people I know. She's my rock. And like, she dealt with it how she did at the time, and she accepts me now and she loves me now, so that's all that matters. And she didn't do it from a bad way. I think she was just trying to deal with it. I'm worried this video is going to be hella long, girl. I thought this was going to be short and sweet. I'm so sorry, guys. Stay with me. So yeah, I came out to my mum. She kind of put it away. And it was a little bit of time where I continued dating boys. And it seemed to feel right. And I had a little bit more self-discovery. And then a little bit later on, after some time, I went up to her again and I wrote her a letter. Just saying that, look, I know that you thought it was a phase, but that phase hasn't gone away and I haven't grown out of it, and I'm still here who I am. I'm still that person. And it's that I think really hit her, and then she had to discover everything that I had been going through. She had to discover my journey. So that was kind of happening, and I felt like from that letter it was really, really hard. My relationship with my mother was always so strong, and this was something that we, you know, had to discover about each one of us. And it was kind of crazy, I'm not gonna lie. It was a really, like, this is like a whole roller coaster of life, you know. Ooh, fun times. I was exploring myself. The next thing I'm going to talk about is like my first gay club or like gay thing experience, okay? So basically there was this huge gay club in London. There's so many clubs in London, and before, like not now, but like before, there were so many different ones, so many places, and I actually was blown away that there would be a club. So my friends thought it would be a good idea to go to this club, and I was just like, oh my god, what am I gonna do? So I'm gonna use this opportunity in the gay club to come out to the rest of my friends, because I only told one of my friends at this point. So we go to this like massive gay club, and I was freaking out. I was having like anxiety, like big time, because you need to understand that I went from not thinking that there's anyone else gay in this whole world to I'm in a club full of gay people. What is going on? And you know, gay people sometimes act kind of mad, you know what I mean? Like, that's kind of crazy. Everyone was like twerking, like even before twerking was a thing, girl, and they were like grinding and this whole thing. And I was just like, what is happening? And people just seemed very gay and proud, and I I wasn't one of those people yet. So I was blown away. Then I was like, okay, why have I decided to tell my friends this now? But, oh, guys, I've got something to tell you. Wrong timing. Trust Danny to have the wrong timing. And then we're all there. We're all like, oh my God, this is so fun. Because we were so young, do you know what I mean? I mean, we might have even been underage, right? And then I basically remember telling all my friends. And they were like, Danny, we know, babe. That's why we're in a gay club. Like, duh. Like, we don't care. And I was just like, oh, like, I just felt so stupid, guys. I felt so stupid. I was just like, oh, like, obviously we're in a gay club. Like, none of these people, none of my friends would even care. Wait a minute, I'll just have some coffee. So again, I just felt so stupid. I was like, oh yeah, like, this is such a big thing for me. But it wasn't a big thing for these people. So I was like, so grateful and feeling so blessed that my friends were like that. If I'm really honest, that club night and that experience, there was some other things that happened that night, a little bit of drama. You know, all the hormones when you're a teenager, kind of crazy. And it was probably like one of the worst nights of my life. And it was just kind of strange. And yeah, that club doesn't even exist anymore. But it was just a weird moment in there, which also kind of clouded me. And I think I was very naive at the time. I was super naive. The next topic I really want to talk about is religion, because my family are actually Roman Catholic and we grew up raised as Roman Catholics. And as I mentioned earlier, I also went to a Roman Catholic school. So there was an element of religion around me at all times. And I will say I never really talk about religion on my social media platforms because I'm very open and I'm very, respectful. And so I always allow people to believe what they wish to believe, and I never want to impose anything on them. But definitely growing up and, being gay and having a upbringing which kind of like teaches you against it was another struggle just added onto it. And being a part of a family who would obviously go to church on a regular basis, it was just another burden. And when you're told the teachings and how this isn't acceptable, it's another form of not accepting yourself. People not accepting you, society not accepting you, and also God not accepting you. So there was this whole other element as well that then sits on your shoulder. So, there's a lot of different elements. And I think that even if you're not gay, and even if you're, you don't have a journey of your sexuality, you might have a journey of something else, then you might have all these different things which sit on your shoulders and just hold you back from you just stepping forward as yourself. This takes me to my next topic, which is family. And my family, it was so scary. So scary. But now my entire family know who I am. They know my boyfriend, they've met him, we've all hung out together, and they all accept me and who I am. And coming out to them, like coming out to my mum was so different because I was so close to her, but coming out to my brother and my dad and then the rest of the family was just so hard. And it actually didn't happen till not that long ago. So I basically, it's just a bit embarrassing that pretty much all my childhood, all my teenage years, me growing up, like no one really knew who I was because I would always hold myself back. Like to the point where I would even, like hide in the bathroom and like put some makeup on and then come up thinking that no one's gonna notice, girl, that you've got concealer on, that you look kind of cute. But yeah, I did that, and it was just like, why can't I just openly be like that? Like I knew my family were just the most amazing people and I knew they would accept me, and if they didn't accept me, then that's their choice, and I would just be like, okay, fine, like that's fine, like I just won't be close to you. Do you know what I mean? Like definitely now I feel like if there's a family member from like, I don't know, if someone was to say like they just don't accept that, I'm just like, well, it's 2020, sis, like it's too late, I can't go back now, like I'm who I am, so I guess we can't be friends. But yeah, like I basically felt like I'm still kind of shook that it only happened a few years ago, and the reason why it happened was because I got into a long-term relationship with my current boyfriend. We've been together for like 4.5 years now, and it was like, well, I think we were together for like a year, and I was just like, no, maybe even less than that, and I was just like, no, I need to tell my whole family. So basically, yeah, like they all met him, and I guess them meeting him solidified the fact that I was gay. I was in a same-sex relationship, and that was what it was. So that was fun, but I have to say they were really accepting. I think everyone kind of knew, and it was just like not a shock to them, and I think that was good in a way. I mean, I know that there are also gay guys or gay girls that you just can't tell, so they just might fit into society perfectly well, and then if they said that, it might be a little bit more of a shock to the family, or maybe not a shock to the family. I don't know, like everyone's different, everyone reacts differently. Just a quick little mini story. I remember having an ex-boyfriend who, when he came out, like his family was just like, oh my god, no, that's amazing, yeah, that's great, that's great. And he came out really, really young, and it was just not a thing, like it wasn't even a big deal. And I always felt like, oh my god, I'm so jealous of you and your life. And jealousy is not a good thing to feel, but like it's not a good emotion to feel, but I actually felt jealous that his journey was just so much easier. He was just like, yeah, I'm gay, and they were like, oh yay, let's have a party. And I was like, why am I going through this struggle, girl? Why am I going through this struggle? So I definitely felt like, you know, some people's journeys are so different. That's why I want to say that thing right at the beginning. Hopefully this all makes sense. Yeah, tell me if it does. Okay, I only have a few more points, and the points that I want to end with is me now versus then, and also some advice. So me now versus then, I can honestly say that I live a life with pure love. I live a very normal life, I would say, and I have created this bubble of love around me, which is my happy place. And it is, I honestly feel like I'm so lucky to have been born in London and growing up in a place where, you know, there are gay bars, there are gay clubs. It's not illegal or crime to be gay in this country, and I know that in other countries this is still a thing. And this is why today we still have to celebrate equal rights. We have to, you know, not only celebrate them, but we have to work towards more of it. We need to, you know, unify. It's not just a party where you just get drunk. There's so much meaning behind it. And even today, it's so hard for so many people across the world. Obviously, with everything that's happening right now, there's still so much discrimination against people because of your sexuality, because of your gender, because of your color, because of your race. And I just feel like, you know, all of these things need to change, and that's why we have to use our voice, and that's why we have to use it now. I was lucky to grow up in London, where it is acceptable and not illegal to be a gay man. So I will say that there are a lot of pieces of the journey for me which were a little bit easier. I also receive a lot of messages and DMs from followers who ask me what they can do, and they are in countries where they cannot be openly gay. And it puts so much pressure on me to know what to say and how to advise them. I know that my words, they might mean very little, they might mean a lot to these people, and it could mean that they might challenge their life or change their life and make change. So I'm really scared. I would never want to be putting anyone in danger. I would never want to make anyone a victim in their own country, whatever their circumstances might be. Looking back on my journey, I feel like everything had to happen for a reason. And I feel like the person that I have become today, I am proud of. I love me, I love myself, and I love just being Danny. Like, that's just me. And part of me is my sexuality, but not everything is my sexuality. I'm still a human being. I still feel all the same emotions as any other person, and I still have the same wants and needs as anyone else. I look back and I think I was really naive. I wish I knew about gay people beforehand. I wish I made less mistakes. I made a lot of mistakes because I was learning, but all of those mistakes happened so that I would learn and grow and become the person I am today. Okay, we need to be strong. We need to be strong. So I'm really grateful and lucky and thankful to have a loving boyfriend who's amazing. He's so amazing. God, why am I so emotional saying this stuff? Friends and family who are just truly supportive, and you guys know who you are, and I have this like really amazing inner circle of people that I just love them. I would do anything for them, and I feel so lucky to be who I am today. And I want to share this, guys, because I want to help other people. I know that in today, like, it's such a different world to what it was when I was growing up, and we didn't have social media, we didn't have Instagram, and I just can't even imagine what it is now, where people can get, like, you know, someone might come out on social media, someone might just post a YouTube video coming out and no one knows about it. Like, that's insane. That is so amazing. It's so amazing. It's so powerful. Someone might come out on their Instagram account and be like, guess what, guys, I'm gay. Like, and then everyone in the school knows about it. Like, I don't know. I want to hear like modern day stories, because I feel like mine's kind of old school now. But I want to hear modern day stories, or like coming out stories, or is it just, you know, easier now? I don't think it's easier now. I think a lot of people like who are older than me will say, oh yeah, you got it easy, and I'm like, well, no, because my struggles are my struggles, and your own struggles are always going to seem worse than anyone else's, right? Because you don't experience anyone else's struggles on a day-to-day. And when I look at the younger generation to come, I hope that things are better for them. I really do. I know they're still going to have their struggles, but I hope that it's a little bit easier for them, and they can just, you know, come out to their friends and family and it's all okay. Looking at that boy before, I wish I could just hold him so tight and be like, look, you're fine. You do not need to be cured. There's nothing wrong with you. You're not going to hell. And I think this has propelled me to always want to be a good person. All I have inside of me is positivity, love, and joy. And I want to spread that. With everything that's been happening recently, guys, in the world, I really have realized that having a social media platform is more than just posting cute selfies, and more than just, you know, doing a few little makeup tutorials. It's so much more than that. It's given me the opportunity to have a voice and to speak out what I think is right, and we can make change together for a better tomorrow. Seeing everything that's happened, I'm just blown away, and I'm so looking forward to the change that is yet to come. I'm looking forward to what changes this will propel, and I know that things will get better. I guess my last point was advice, and I think I've kind of dropped a few little bits of advice here and there, but to anyone watching this, I want you to know that you can always message me. Like, you can write in the comments. If you don't want to be public, you can DM me on Instagram, you can tweet me, you can reach out to me. Like, I'm a human being just like you, and we're both just living our life. There are so many support groups out there as well if you feel like you would rather, you know, speak to someone. And you know, there's so much help out there now. There's so many charities, there's so many organizations, and there's all of that. Like, everyone's different. Like, you need to do what works for you. The one thing I will say is that never ever hate yourself for who you are. Always love yourself, because there's no one else in the world like you, okay? There's only one of you guys. Self-love is something that I've really tried to work on, and especially last year, it was one of my top goals that I really wanted to achieve. So I put certain things into practice to practice self-love more and more, and I honestly feel like it worked really well. I'm proud of who I am today. I am so lucky that I think social media really throws you out. People all over the world can now see men who are like wearing makeup, for example, like beauty boys like me. People all over the world can see people of all different races. You can see people of all different shapes and sizes, all different nationalities. You can see same-sex relationships and interracial couples. Like, all of these things, it's out there. And I think that social media putting that out there is just amazing, because it, you know, it unifies us. It just unifies us. I want to say thank you so much for listening to my story, and I'm sorry it's been a little bit emotional. I've never really done stuff like this before, and I've never just turned on the camera and just, you know, pressed play. and the record button, sorry, not even play. It's kind of scary. I've been putting this video off for a long time. But thank you for listening, and thank you for listening to my story. If you're watching this and you want to share your story, please do. Let's share love. I'd love to have a conversation with you guys in the comments if you want to. And I just want to say that wherever you are, I hope you're safe. And I will see you soon. I love you guys.